StillTalking.com podcast, season 3, episode 19, Todd. Monday after a Steelers beatdown by the 49ers. Huh?
Those do not make for fun Mondays, Rob.
Man. Beat down. When I say a beat down.
Yep. It was definitely varsity versus JV yesterday. And as Coach Tomlin is known to phrase here and there, we are not about JV. That's below the line. And it most definitely was below the line from the top to the bottom of the organization.
Yeah, the standard was not the standard. And
definitely.
I know a lot of guys do they watch film today or tomorrow? I think they get the day off, right?
Yes, they get the day off, yeah.
Well, tomorrow is gonna be some butts chewed out. They're gonna walk out of there tomorrow evening and they ain't gonna have it's gonna look like a dog bit them in the butt because it's gonna be a lot of that going on tomorrow.
Well, hopefully so, Rob. Hopefully it's not one of those where the coach's philosophy is that it was so bad we can't hardly glean anything positive from it. So, you hear guys say, we're just going to kick it in the trash and move on. No, you can't do that. You cannot do that.
I was saying that yesterday, but no, they need to suffer and watch it.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the game, Todd. On offense, what'd you see? Just what'd you see?
Again, a really, Rob, a staggered movement, a lack of continuity, a lack of assuredness in what the play was from Kenny all the way through the receivers.
Okay.
I would see it looks like, a receiver's running one way and the ball's going another way. Or a guy pulls up and the ball goes, 7 yards over their head.
Right.
There was not continuity or confidence at all on offense. And like I said, it starts, with the head guy, Kenny, all the way through the rest of the lineup. And it just was a very tepid approach, a passionless approach. And this will be the only thing I'll say negative about Canada, and then I'll just accept it and move on. But again, I personally, in general, I do not like his first 15 scripted plays.
Okay.
Again, it's just not aggressive enough. We are not in college. This is not the University of Maryland. This is the NFL. And these fundamental basic plays, I'm not saying I want a trick play on everyone. I know they had the jet sweep to Calvin Austin III. I was not against that play. I know a lot of guys were upset about that.
No,
I'm not saying I want to see a play like that every fifth play, but I do want to see something different than, a bubble screen here.
Yeah.
Or I know sometimes you got to have a dump off pass every once in a while to a running back. But again, they just seem too muddling and just too predictable. That's how I see it.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, Todd. I'm going to disagree with you that they were not aggressive. I think they was too aggressive. I think Kenny was throwing down the field early, trying to force it down the field early when we didn't need to. The game plan that the 49ers came in with, get your quarterback in rhythm, dink and dunk, get some easy throws, get some first downs. That's what I think we needed to do. It looked like we were struggling so hard to try to get it downfield and, get it to Moot down the middle, get it to guys running longer routes, which I'm not opposed to.
Right.
But the first game of the year, second year quarterback, he haven't even got 17 games under his belt. Man, make him comfortable first. Then we can start doing that stuff down the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that point about getting the quarterback comfortable first, because somebody had made a point after the game that it was almost the 9-minute mark of the first quarter before we actually had a running play.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that we don't need that. I definitely, we need more balance
Yeah.
coming out in those first 15 plays. I guess what upset me the most was, again, because Kenny didn't look confident. He looked
No.
jittery.
Yes.
That's when you have to read the room, as they say. Okay,
Right.
he's not getting off to a good start. Yeah, maybe
Dial
let's
it back.
drop back,
Yeah.
dial it back.
Yeah.
So that was an excellent point by you. It's just I'm just so tired again of the overly fundamental and, again, rehashing of plays
Yeah.
of Canada from last year. I almost sometimes would rather see us fail going down the field
Right.
than not going down the field at all. But clearly, I think really whatever Canada had schemed yesterday, the guys just were not in sync, and
No.
that's a bigger level question to ask. And we've asked it before in the past on the podcast, Rob. Is okay, why is it not just the Steelers, but any team, you've had months to prepare? Why would you come out and look so unassured, inconsistent, almost afraid at times?
Yeah.
I just, that's the part that I personally have a difficult time wrapping my head around.
Well, I'm going to say this, Todd. It was really evident when I watched the game the second time today.
Okay.
Of the lack of ingenious in Canada. You look at how wide open guys are running against our defense. Our defense ain't that bad. But they coach can design plays for Purdy and those receivers to get open. And I'm looking at our offense. Where are our plays like that? Where's the innovation? We got good wide receivers. We got good backs. We got a good tight end. Where's our innovation? Where are our guys running wide open at? Why we can't design plays to get some good guys open early like that? You got, like you said, we had all year to prepare for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Where the plays at, man? The first 15 plays ought to be smooth.
And see, Rob, here's what I'm going to say, because I would never try to compare Matt Canada to Shanahan.
Well,
I would never. But see, to me,
he calling plays, Todd. He calling plays.
But to me, that, Rob, it goes back to, he does not have hardly any professional experience at all. I may be wrong, but before he came to the Steelers as a QB coach, I don't think he had any NFL experience prior to that. And if he did, it was extremely limited.
Yeah.
So this goes back to
he's
how
never been a coordinator at professional level.
No, definitely has not. So again, that goes back. That's another story for another show. But that is one of the Steeler things that they do. It's rare for them to go out and pluck a high-profile guy for a coordinator position. They just rarely do that. And you and I, and I'm sure the other guys in the group would pretty much say the same thing, that we would like to see somebody with they don't have to be necessarily a younger coach. It doesn't necessarily make them automatically more innovative, but somebody with some experience at that level and has a track record of some level of success.
Yeah. I just don't know. It's got to get better than it did.
Yes, no doubt.
But the way the NFL is going, you need to have a good offensive-minded coach somewhere in there doing good plays, being able to come up with innovative plays, innovative things, staying on the cutting edge. It's kind of like being in computers, right?
Yes.
You got to stay on top of your technology. Offense is like technology now. You got to stay on top of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's new stuff coming every year. So we
shall see. Like I said, last show, or maybe one of the preseason shows. This is the last audition for Matt Canada. He got 4 months to audition himself for a new contract.
Yeah.
And if he continues on, I know we just started, so I am going to give him some room. But if this trend continues, I think even the Steelers have to admit they're just going to have to go in another direction. I just cannot imagine them bringing him back with another ho-hum performance.
Well, they haven't extended him, so
no.
That means he on the chopping block.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Grade for the offense. I'm gonna give the whole grade probably F plus.
Okay.
You have an F plus.
Yes, you can. I was gonna say F, but anybody that knows me would expect me to say that. So I'm not going to do that, and I'm gonna be benevolent, and I'm just gonna give him a D.
What? Man.
Yes, Rob. Rob, that's still JV. D, F, F minus, F plus. It doesn't matter. We are admitting that they were well below the line. So I'm gonna be kind and give them a D.
And I'm gonna give a game ball to Allen Robinson, man. When I watched the game, he was the only one seemed like making plays on offense.
Yes, and I'm gonna give my game ball to him as well.
Right.
He found a way to get into Kenny's vision. He got open enough to get some balls. I think he had 5 catches for 64 yards.
Yeah.
I can see why George Pickens was all mopey after the game and didn't want to talk to the press because they're all divas, as we know, and if he doesn't get his targets and his catches, he wants to take all his toys and go home, and he's just going to have to grow up. This is not just with the Steelers; this is any team. These young wide receivers, they think they're the best, just like Claypool running his mouth last year saying I'm top 3, top 5. This guy, I'm telling you, Rob, I'll say it now because we're talking about receivers and their personalities. I'll be shocked if Claypool is on an NFL roster at the beginning of next season.
Well, he's starting for the Bears right now.
I'll stick by what I said. At the beginning of next season, you look at the 53-man roster for every single team, you will not see Chase Claypool on there.
Yeah. You like to ride Chase Claypool, don't you?
because hey, you know why I ride him? Because he actually has some talent.
Yeah.
But again, he thinks he's somebody special that doesn't need to do what is necessary. And as they say in sports, there is nothing that will piss a fan off worse than a player who doesn't play up to their potential.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if that guy had, he was 6 foot, 185 pounds, ran a 4.7, and, just could never get open. Okay, I could accept that.
Right.
But with the talent that guy has, and he puts so little effort into his craft, it's embarrassing. I'm so grateful. I literally, Rob, I said it last year. If they had got like a 4th or 5th round pick for him last year, somebody wanted him, I would have taken it and just sent him on out the door. I was ecstatic when he left. Same thing with Kendrick Green.
We ain't got to worry about him no more. Just hope.
Thank God.
Just hope GP don't get some of the KP. I mean, some of the Claypool in him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hopefully these veteran receivers will squeeze that out of him, hopefully.
All right, let's move on to defense. What I saw the defense, Todd, watching the second time, it wasn't as bad as I thought. We were getting moved off the ball early. The second half, it looked like we came out and they had a fire in their butt. Coach must have chewed them out. They looked like they was getting pressure. They were doing some things right, but it was just when they needed to execute in the coach called it the weighty downs. We couldn't get off the field. Every third down, they converting.
Yes.
uh, who was that? Patrick Peterson. Man, I mean, he there to make the plays. He ain't making the play. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
he's in the
saying?
right spot. It's not like he was, as Roper likes to joke with TE, he's
Right,
always quote around the ball, but he's never, there to make the play. Well, Pat P, he was there other than that one time he slipped in the end zone and IU caught that pass. But
right.
the other times, he was with him. It's not
Yeah,
like he got fooled about where he was running. But, you know, again, credit to the quarterback. Purdy put it where he had to put it. I mean,
yeah.
when a guy's 8 for 8 on his targets for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns, I mean, you got to give that guy credit first of all, but then
And
certainly you got to give the QB credit too, because his placement was just exceptional yesterday.
I don't know who was supposed to be watching Brandon Ayuk. He open right now.
Yeah,
He was
he was
open the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, guys not even close to him.
I did not watch the game a second time, so I'll admit that in advance, Rob. But
Yeah,
every time that I saw Ayuk on the screen, Pat P in general seemed to be the closest guy to him. Now, I'm not saying that was his man the whole game, but you were right. Not only Ayuk, but even some of the other receivers. They just would consistently find a spot in the zone, and you'd see a guy, 7 yards past where
yeah.
they were, and another guy 7 to 10 yards in front of them.
And they'll find it
Yeah,
wide open.
yeah.
Every third down seemed like Brandon Ayuk was wide open.
So yeah, if I'm going to pick on Matt Canada, then I got to throw some shade. And I knew I'd forget his name. That's how forgettable he is. A guy that got ran, Rob. I mean, this dude got ran out of Cincinnati as their defensive coordinator. That's how bad he was that he couldn't even stick with the Bengals. And
Yeah.
the Bengals, I mean, my God, they haven't had a solid defense in years. But I'm gonna lean on him because he also really didn't play an aggressive game. I heard when he first came over to us that he was going to blitz more, but
Yeah.
In general, since he's been here, I really haven't seen a lot of blitzing.
We don't have to blitz. We got a good front four. Like I said, the two bright spots that I saw out of the defense, the second half, we were actually getting some push and actually getting pressures. We let McCaffrey go for a 60-something yarder.
I mean, right there to begin the second half. That hurt. That's truly what brought them back.
Yeah, that hurt.
That did it.
But after that, they kind of they did okay. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they kept the ship from completely sinking, but it was taking on water. I mean, when you're down 27-7, a minute or two into the second half, I mean, you can play out of your mind, but again, if the offense doesn't do their part, it doesn't make any difference. But you're right. Statistically speaking, Rob, they did play better in the second half. Obviously some guys got hurt, and seems like now might be a good time to bring that up because I think that helped speed up the wear down process on the defense, especially the D line with both.
I want to say my second bright spot first.
Right.
I got to give him some credit because he was all over the place. At least TJ came to play.
He definitely did. He got off to a slow start, but once he got sufficiently worked up, he just went off.
Yeah, 3 sacks, almost 2 strip fumbles, right? Yeah. I think he had 1 strip fumble. Almost 2.
Yeah, almost 2. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that's who my game ball goes to. TJ on defense, man.
Now I'll agree with you, Rob. That is my go-to guy. for the game ball on defense is TJ, but a close second is a Landon Roberts.
Yeah. He had a pretty good game.
Yeah, very, very active. I mean, literally, Rob, that guy did more in that game yesterday than Devin Bush did the entire season.
Now you go with Devin Bush.
I mean, you know what? We I tell you what, I mean, Rob, things may not work out the way we want them to this year for whatever reason. God bless Omar Khan for getting rid of, first realizing where the dead weight is, and then getting rid of.
And Devin Bush was dead weight.
Devin Bush, Kendrick Green, Kevin Dotson, Chase Claypool, Miles Jack. God bless him. I wish Spillane had stayed, but other than that, man, the guys that they traded or just let go, I'm all for it. Yeah.
I am wondering,
God bless him.
why are you here?
Oh man. Okay. Let's move on to special teams, man. Kick return was good. That's another bright spot.
There's your game ball on special teams. Anthony McFarland.
Anthony McFarland. Man.
Rob, he averaged just over 30 yards a return.
Yeah. When have we seen that? When have we seen that?
Well, Steven Sims had a couple of good games last year, but minus that, no, I hadn't seen that in probably 4 years.
Man, I'm kind of glad they kept Anthony McFarland now.
I am too, because I'll admit I was one of those guys
that he was on the way out.
Yeah. He could have been gone, and it wouldn't have bothered me a bit.
Right.
I question constantly, why is this guy still on the team? You know, he's struggling. He can, he can't even compete for a backup spot.
Yeah.
And he was like a third or fourth round pick. I mean, my God, man, how many chances you gonna give this guy? And credit to him. He found something he was really good at and proved it to the coaches.
Well,
and he made the team.
He looks in excellent shape this year. I don't think I've ever seen him this fast, for one.
Yeah, coming out of college, of course, that's all they talked about was how fast he was.
Yeah, but I ain't never seen it.
No, it didn't translate on the field.
No, and he looked thicker. Maybe because he was having injuries and not able to work out like he needed to.
It's possible.
Yeah, but he looks svelte and he looks fast.
He does.
Yeah, and they actually used him in the regular offense.
He did. He caught either one or two balls, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you know who looks slow? I'm going to jump back a little bit. Najee looks slow this game. But I think he looks slow because we talked about it last show. I think Najee shouldn't have started the game. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later this week.
Okay.
Chunky P, he gets an F-. I'm getting tired of talking about Chunky P, man. Percy Harvin, they done had 2 or 3 times they could have let him go for another guy. And Carlos Waitman probably would have been better to keep.
I told you I was going to check it, and I did not. But, as of like a week ago, he was available. So if that dude, either him or the guy that we just cut, Brandon Mann, if either one of those guys is available, this is just me. I'm the heartless guy here in the group. I would just cut the guy and move on. To me, punters truly are a dime a dozen. Now, this is how people are treating running backs like they're a dime a dozen. But hell, at least running backs are involved in quite a few plays. A punter, he may only be out on the field maybe 4 or 5 times a game if you're having a good game.
Right.
It's just, I can just find better ways to use that roster position than this guy. So I would love if we could drop him and pick up one of those 2 guys, either Mann or Waitman. I would do it, and I wouldn't even look back. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, If he have another, for me, maybe he needs the edge of somebody taking his job. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
He
they
might
had
need
man
that
in.
fear.
Man
Like,
was there the whole
hey,
camp, Rob.
put man on the practice squad. That'll put some fear in his heart. You know what I'm saying? Maybe works well under pressure.
And that's fine. I mean, I mean, now that you've extended the practice squad to 16 players,
Yeah.
certainly you would think that, yeah, you could leave open one of those spots for a punter and or kicker if that situation ever arises.
Yeah.
But, nowadays you can just, again, they're almost like a dime a dozen because all you got to do is go into your black book and go to your list. And the majority of the time, those guys are on the street and available, ready to fly in for a quick rehearsal and get signed and get going. So I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty bad when you got to be talking consistently about your punter.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. So.
Oh yeah, Chunky P get an F, man.
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
F minus, not even an F plus. All right, y'all, let's move on. Steelers injury report. We got Cam with the groin. He shouldn't even been out there. He was sick from beginning.
Well, see, that's just it. I would like to hear the details, Rob. It's one thing to quote, be sick, have an upset stomach, have diarrhea, whatever you want, whatever it is. Now, what does that have to do with his groin? I have no idea. What I honestly believe is that it's been the groin, and they masked it by saying that he's got some kind of a stomach ailment.
Now you got it. That's what I think too. Yeah, okay. That's what I think too.
But
Deontay with a hammy. It looked bad at first. Hopefully it's not that bad because he was running and looked like he got shot with a rifle and went straight down.
Yeah, I know what that looks like.
Yeah. If you ever been hunting, you know what I'm talking about, Todd.
Yeah.
All right, Muth had the chest, but it looked like he all right because he finished the game. He got blasted in the chest on that touchdown attempt down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't open.
No, he threw into a cup. There were three guys around. That was not a smart play.
All right, Leal had triceps and Chooks got a concussion.
And don't forget James Daniels.
JD, what he had?
That's just it. I don't know, but I read an article that said that he was in a walking boot after the game.
Man, we got kind of broke up that game, man.
Yes. No definitive as of this show. Nothing definitive on whether Cam's having surgery or not, but it's being discussed. So
yeah,
he could be going on IR here soon, possibly.
All right, where we go from here, man?
We can only go one place, Rob, and that's up.
That's up, huh?
There's no other option.
I can't see us playing this bad no more the rest of the year.
I want to agree with you. We all want to agree with you. We, lament pretty much, Rob, coming into every season, you can count on the Steelers having two really bad games.
Yeah. For
whatever reason. It may not show up score-wise, but you just know they were flat. The effort wasn't there. They gave up, by halftime, one of those kind of games. So, certainly we had Buffalo and Philadelphia last year. Those two games met that criteria last year. So here's one right out the gate. So, yeah, you really hope with 16 games to go, maybe one more game like that. But any aspirations of a real good season, it just can't involve those kind of results.
Yeah.
It just can't. So we're not in a position here to take a game off.
Right.
Next week's game is I know we're going to talk about it on Friday, but I'm telling you right now, next week's game, there will be nothing easy about that game. Because anytime you're going up against a division opponent and a division opponent that you've owned in the past, but is extremely confident coming off their previous results, that can make for a long game. So I just hope that whatever transpired yesterday, we can get it flushed out of the system, get confident again, get healthy, and be ready for a serious challenge from Cleveland on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, we'll talk about that Friday. All right, a quick review of our divisional opponents' games. Okay, the Bengals fell to the Browns 3-24. Wow.
It wasn't even that close from what I understand.
Yeah. Well, what was it, the Browns playing that good or the Bengals playing that bad?
No, I think it was the Browns playing that good. They just swarmed them, man. They got no breathing room. They couldn't make any plays because Cleveland was on top of them.
Okay.
I told you Burrows only had 82 yards passing in a QBR of 25.
Man.
That's really all you need to know.
Did he finish the game?
I think he came out just because it didn't matter really late in the game.
Yeah.
He came out for like maybe the last series or something. But I'm telling you, man, when you can hold Joe Burrow to 82 yards passing, no touchdowns, 14 completions, Rob, for the whole game.
Wow. How many attempts did he have?
I think it was upper 20s, low 30s.
Okay.
So
yeah, they weren't doing nothing.
No. So all I can tell everybody is don't get cocky just because it's Cleveland.
Cocky?
We're not in a position to be like that.
We ain't in a position to be cocky about nothing.
I'm glad you agree with me because that's how I feel.
All right, Texans 9 at the Ravens. M&T Bank Stadium, they get beat 9-25. From all accounts, the Ravens looked. They had a lot of injuries though, like they normally do.
They did.
The Ravens are snake bitten.
It appears to be, man. They got 6 guys that got hurt in that game, and two of them look to be fairly serious.
Or would you call that rat bird?
J.K. Dobbins is gone for the year with a torn Achilles, and then one of their safeties, Marcus Williams, looks like he might have a torn triceps. And he may, if it's not for the year, it's for the majority of the year.
Yeah.
So, and then Ronnie Stanley, their left tackle, who's a fantastic player, but that guy gets hurt every single year here these last 4 or 5 years. This guy gets hurt. No fault of his own. But
it wasn't a tight end hurt?
Yes. Andrews. Mark
Andrews hurt. Yeah.
He's hurt too, yes.
Man. Well, I don't feel sorry for the Ratbirds.
Oh, no, we never will. Just like they wouldn't feel sorry for us either. So
No. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, what's they call it? What Coach say? Next man up.
Yeah. I promise you, that's what Jim Harbaugh is saying too.
Yeah.
Next man up. So.
Yep. Another man's disaster is another man's opportunity, baby.
Yep.
All right, Todd. Anything else, man, before we get out of here?
No, just looking to put this game behind us.
Please.
And again, get ready for the guys to get ready for the challenge. Laying ahead on Monday Night Football. If there's ever a time you don't want to have a good showing, you don't want to have a bad showing, excuse me, is on Monday Night Football. So, they just better be ready to go. That's all I can say.
Well, one good thing, we have a good track record in nighttime games. It was national televised games like that. So,
for the most part, the last couple of years, not so much, but yes, overall, yes, we've been pretty good. But I can pull out some night games here lately, like the Chargers, Minnesota, where we got our asses handed to us.
You are always negative.
No, I like to remember the things that aren't so positive.
You always negative. You bringing it down.
People like you don't get overly positive.
Oh, Debbie Downer.
It's all in the stats, Rob. It's all in the stats, man.
All right, Todd, man. We're gonna let the people get out of here. Like and subscribe to the station, man. If you like what you hear, tell somebody about us. You know,
Absolutely. We'd appreciate the love.
Yeah, and send us a comment. We appreciate that too.
Yeah, send all your positive comments to Rob.
To me.
Yeah, and send all the negative ones to me.
Yeah, send, because he like to talk negative. I like to talk positive. So.
That's right.
All right. All right. Without further ado, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go.
Who?